Look me in the eye, Miz, and tell me you won it. Pierce, I need an adult. Miz, I am an adult. And by the way, I only booked you against Bronson so you could squash you like you did Truth and Rollins. Take that. I'm John Renton with my review of WWE Raw from Sunrise/Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Let me know your thoughts on this show in the comments, please. We're speeding towards Bash in Berlin, where we're going to see Gunther cheered like a god and Orton, the venomous viper, trying to sneak up and kill off the home country pop. There's going to be an eradication of a viper there. Anyway, enough about that. Let's talk about this show. Though, first things first, I have been mentioning I might be taking a break from reviewing Raw. I've decided that since I review one AEW show a week, I'll review one WWE show a week. But I will be taking December off to focus on a lot of movie reviews, my end-of-year lists, such as best worst movies, best worst horror movies, and also I've decided I'm going to do midway decade points list for best worst horror and best worst movies, just because, for fun. Anyway, let's talk about this. So, they were where the Florida Panthers play, 20,000 seat capacity. They had around 11,500 according to WrestleTix. Speaking of WrestleTix, I do want to say really, really quickly that they have been reporting that the advance on the Wrestle Dream show for the Tacoma Dome is set up for about 6,000 people. For those of you that are unfamiliar with the Tacoma Dome, that is where WWE held stomping grounds, where they fisted ass and took names. And they had about 6,000 people with a bunch of comps, because they didn't promote the shit. And the Tacoma Dome holds significantly more than that. 21,000 people if you pack everybody in there. So even taking, the stage obstructed seats out, you could do about 17,000 if you tried. Run smaller buildings, goddammit, or just promote your shit better, like WWE seems to be doing. Even if they aren't giving everybody what they want, they're giving them enough that they are packing these arenas. This is not about WWE, AEW, this is about smart marketing and no marketing. So, Pat is leaving for football. Good. Pat is fine in small doses. He's also an idiot that has idiots on his show and has decided to basically kind of expose the fact that he's a fucking idiot, especially what he said about that Algerian boxer. And you can't walk that shit back. You're just as bad as Logan Paul. Anyway, here's Orton to a pop. He talks about Gunther making it personal. Talks about his, his grandfather, his father. You got my mother, my father, my family. Terrible Arnold impression. The three most dangerous layers in sports entertainment are KO. Here's Gunther. He's trying to heal it up here. He is going to expose Randy. Gross. But he is bound and determined to retain the championship. And then Kaiser attacks Orton. And we get a 2-on-1. And there we go. There we are. Not a bad opening. And at least they got done before the first quarter was up. Recaps of Pete, causing Sheamus's hand to suffer damage. Fortunately, he's ambidextrous. Speaking of which, here's Jackie to reiterate what we just saw. Jackie seems like she knows what she's talking about, but they put her in unwinnable situations. They just put her out there and say, hey, Jackie, reiterate what everybody just saw. But apparently we have the memories of goldfish. So, anyway, those are good crackers, by the way. Speaking of crackers, we saw Sheamus and Pete Dunne have a match. Well, an Irishman has one good hand, and Pete Dunne loves to violently finger his opponents. The crowd is into it. I do wonder, though, if Sheamus really did suffer damage, how much he's going to have to pay for a proper hand job to fix it. So, they decided to beat each other off from behind. We got a Daniel Bryan mention. Sheamus beat him in 18 seconds. Which was a terrible decision in hindsight. I mean, it just was. Yeah, Daniel Bryan got his moment, but still. Nevertheless, basically, at one point, Sheamus got his bad hand, forced in between the turnbuckle and the buckle pad, ripped it off George Animal Steel style, hit a bro kick, 1, 2, 3. Not bad. Pete is never going to get beyond a certain level. I'm not saying that he can't win a match in this feud, but I don't know. So, they are doing some nice things for Steiner. That's good. They got a nice video package for him. Also, they did have Kofi talking to Xavier. Is everything cool? Well, you brought Aussie in. You're trying to replace Big E. No, I'm not. They do have custom WWE championships for the Knicks. That's the closest championship the Knicks will get to anytime soon. So then we see Gable, the Creeds, and Ivy as American made, American made, American made, American made, and yeah, you are never going to unhear it. You're welcome. It's Ivy, Niall, and Chad Gable. There's the same height, right on the level. American made. I'm trying to have some fun here because I have fun with this next match. Though, Gable did say to Ivy, you've never had a coach like me. Ha! Ivy Nile versus Maxine. I said, this has the potential to be a disaster. It was a worse disaster than I thought. Maxine jump-started in it. Maxine is trying. Bless her. This isn't going to work. It's not going to work. It's not going to fucking work. She can't sell. She flops around. Then the lights go out. And then... I'm sorry. I know people like the Wyatt stuff. Good. Whoopee for you. It's garbage. It's bullshit. And they've ruined the Creeds. They've ruined Gable. They've ruined Ivy. Gable did call out, oh, we're not done with the Wyatts. God, I wish you were. Then maybe I could enjoy what you're doing. God, I hope Gable got a big boost. Because this is shit. And then they went to Punk. They had Punk backstage. They go from stupidity to that. A pre-tape with Priest and Rhea, where they're talking about the mixed tag. Oh, Liv, you become a Rhea Ripley cosplayer, or copycat Rhea Ripley, discount Rhea, whatever. Here's Punk. He's got a strap, and he talks about the Panthers. He's a Blackhawks fan, but congratulations to the Panthers for winning the Stanley Cup. I forgot they even won them. Or they even won that. He talks about a fan that was in a wheelchair that said she beat cancer and he was an inspiration to her. The other fans traveled from far and near to see him. That was a big deal. And he's back in Florida for the first time in a long time. Good shot. For those that know, they know. Hey, he's at least in front of a big crowd in Florida. So, anyway... He talks a lot about, caring for the fans. And bracelets, he says he's Taylor Swift for men. That sounds like a hairstyle thing. Also, I want to say something really, really fucking quick. I bleed blue as far as politics, but I recognize that we need to have unity among smart people, regardless of party. Sharing an AI, piece about Swift endorsing somebody that she would never endorse is a choice. There are a few fan bases you don't piss off. The Beehive, or the Bayhive, whatever you call Beyonce's fans. Nicki Minaj's fans, which, it's kind of fun actually about Nicki Minaj. Like, most of her fans or whatever can actually go near a school, unlike Nicki Minaj's guy. And you also don't piss off the Swifties. And let me just say this. As somebody that is a Taylor Swift fan, even though I think she needs to get over the breakup stuff, doing that all the time, I think she needs to find a better connection with music. She's made a fucking fortune. She has given a lot from her concert to the people that work with her. And she has a fan base that is willing to vote and willing to vote the way she says. Hey, you want progression? You want to have women's rights? You want to have LGBTQ rights go? And you want to actually move this country forward? Look at this. Look at this bullshit. That's a lawsuit coming. A lawsuit for a motherfucker that's already gotten a whole bunch of goddamn lawsuits thrown at him because he's a fucking idiot. And if you support him, you are a fucking idiot. I'm sorry. It's not about political affiliation. It is about decency and filth. To quote Kevin Von Erich with the Freebirds. Piss off the Swifties. That may have just won every... It's going to be interesting. Get enough people to go out there and vote in this country. Vote smartly. Vote properly. From the regional to the national level. No party is perfect. No candidate is perfect. We can't go back, guys. We can't go back. We got to be smarter. Just be smarter. Actually be intelligent. And keep your bullshit to yourself if you actually support that idiot. Because if you do, I'm sorry, I don't want to hear it. I've heard it for 8 fucking years of my work on this channel. I'm sick of it. Come what may, I'm going to keep saying and I'm going to keep crowing about the fact that I'm smart, and if you support him, you ain't. Don't piss off the Swifties. So anyway, let's get back to the goddamn deal. So here's Drew, because it's going to be a strap match. And Punk even explains the rules of a strap match. And Punk basically is saying, you know what, Drew? Give me this, or it's like, I'll give you the strap, you give me the bracelet. No, April and Larry are a lot, safer with me. And this is good. Build this. This is nice. Rollins is out for a while. He should be. He's hurt. He's been hurt for a while. Liv and Dominic package. Liv loves being on top. Stop thinking about it, Kier. What is wrong with you? Get some goddamn help. Who would want to have a dirty blonde on top of them just without pants? Stop it, Kier. Get some goddamn help. Kier's a really good guy. Really nice guy. But, damn it, Kier. What's wrong with you? So anyway, New Day and Odyssey Jones took on the final Festament. Yeah, they're like fetch. They're never going to happen. Paul Ellering is the highest paid manager to not do shit. Scarlett certainly exists. And Odyssey got tagged on Xavier, and Odyssey pinned one of the AOP guys. Xavier seems happy. People are like, oh, the turn's coming. I'm not saying they should never split up New Day, but Xavier's going to go on his own and do what? At this point, what is he going to do? He's near 40. What is he going to do? So, what was Ellering wearing, by the way? What the fuck was that? Like he robbed Jesse Ventura's WCW wardrobe. Priest and Rhea, talk about Priest and Dominic, by the way, because Priest and Dominic are going to have a match that doesn't actually happen. Package on Alpha. Easy for me to say. Rest in peace. You had Sika, you had Kevin Sullivan, and you had Alpha. Passed away within like a couple months of each other. So, a lot of people that, were from that time period, unfortunately, are passing away. Foley talked, Batista talked about him, and others talked about the influence of the Wild Samoans. Here comes Bronson, makes his entrance, and M. Pierce says to Miz, look me in the eye, Miz, and tell me that you want it. See, now, if I said that, you know what? I'm just going to move on from that because I'm not really sure how I can actually go with that. Here comes Bronson, took on the Miz. We got weapons, and we got a foot on the neck at one point. It's the David Carradine special. A DDT on the chair for one, and then a table tease, a DVD through it, kinda, and then Tsunami. There you are. And then he was going to go for another one there, and here comes Braun, and now it's more like, hey, here comes Bronson Reed. And then here's Kaiser interrupting a Sheamus promo. Jackie was there. Jackie looked disgusted. She's like, wait, who am I supposed to interview and everything? And then Jackie just left. They said, Jackie, you can go. They put her over in the fucking corner? They put you over in the corner until we need you. Why I said it like an Irish person, I have no idea. All right. The Speak No Evil trailer. I'm going to address that right here because I have seen, you guys know, if you've been following this channel even for a few months, you've been following it for the past couple of years, you know I've really increased the amount of movies that I've done. I did like 138 in 2020 that were released that year. I did only 78 in 2021 because I did a lot of retro, a lot of wrestling, and a lot of other stuff, and I didn't get to as many as I would have liked. Once I started kicking it into gear with the Regal Theater, because I live near a Regal Cinemas, like 7 miles away, 6-7 miles away. I saw 200 movies released in 2022, 276 released this year, and I'm at about 190, close to it, 180 something, upper 180. So I am going to beat 300. This is Sparta. The Speak No Evil movie was something that I actually saw 2 years ago. It hadn't. I don't even actually think it came out until like September, late September, early October of 2022. I forget if it was Norwegian or Dutch or French. I actually forget what language it was. I've gone blank. Help me. It wasn't very good. It wasn't one of those bleak movies where I didn't really, where I like, there's nothing like worth rooting for. Like, I thought the characters were idiots. Now I've seen the US remake so many times. Here's the thing. I'm going to tell you right now, if you have not seen the original and you've seen that trailer, you have seen the original because they spoil everything in the trailer. I love James McAvoy, but God damn it. 2 more weeks and I will, no, 3 more weeks and I will be reviewing that. I don't wanna, but I will. So, Kathy is with Steiner, and Kathy just looks amazing. Steiner talks about coming from a very, accredited university, and talks about math and all that and everything, and IC title tourney's coming up. Priest and Dominic didn't actually end up going. It just turned to a 5-on-2 beatdown. Where Liv once again was just, on top and strapping. And again, Kier, what is wrong with you? I told you to stop thinking about it just a few minutes ago. Strapping Rhea. Who would want to strap Rhea? Who would want Rhea to strap them? I plead the fifth. Io and Kairi took on the Pure Fusion Collective. If they had won this match, they were going to celebrate like the 2 lasses in Portrait of a Lady on Fire. You know which scene I'm talking about. Or maybe you don't. Maybe you like blue is the warmest color. But who is going to be the odd woman out there? Probably Zoe, because I actually don't know if Zoe swings that way. So, Isla and Alba were their opponents. So there's a 3-way. Oh my. Isla looked great. The crowd went mild except when Io got in the ring. And that's nothing against the women. The crowd just didn't care. Isla got the blind tag, then Alba got a blind tag and got the victory. I'm not knocking the women. They tried, but it was what it was. Jackie is in with Jay, who's going to be in the IC title tournament. Don't you dare give him the IC title. Don't you dare give him a singles title. I don't care how much merch he moves. A lot of people move merch. And there were a lot better wrestlers than Jay. Jay is over. Jim Jones was also over with a bunch of people, and we saw how that turned out. So, if that doesn't scream yeet, then I don't know what does. Please, Jackie, don't. Just stop. Stop. It's more like Jack Yeet or Redmond. God damn it. Cole then says, hey, Pat, I bid you adieu. And bang. I actually forgot how Omega said the rest of it. And good. Pat can go away, pull his head out of his ass, maybe actually develop a working brain stem, and then come back. Gable and Uncle Howdy next week. God, they're giving me reasons to not want to watch next week. Orton and Kaiser had the main event match where Orton had his knee targeted, did the announcer's table bump. Gunther was out there to do a distraction, a big superplex, an RKO for 3, a brief brawl, and they ran out of time. It's going to be interesting to see when they move to Netflix what's going to happen. No, I think for September, from the 13th, that's going to be in Seattle. That's SmackDown. From there, for Raw, and I think a few more weeks of NXT, USA is going to have a block of all the WWE programming. And then CW is going to get NXT, maybe hopefully without Booker T. And then we get Raw on Netflix in January, and USA gets SmackDown. So yeah, there you are. Next week, a Raw review. Probably skipping over one of those matches because it doesn't count, because they hate me. Agree, disagree with what I said? Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rickland. I'll see you soon.